Vaishnava, Vaishnava means Param. Is above Brahmin, above Sannyas. But we must be real Vaishnava. Vaishnava means Anukullena Krishnana Siranam, Annavilasita Sunnam. There is no other desire, material desire. Desire means material desire. This contaminated desire. It does not mean that we shall not desire to become Krishna conscious. That desire is real desire. And any other desire, Annavilasita, for some material benefit, that is not desire. So if we can keep ourselves without any material desire, without any propensity for enjoying fleeting result, I am doing something, I must enjoy this result, I must be enjoy. This is called jnana karma. Or I must try to understand Krishna by my speculative method. Why? Krishna is explaining himself, why don't you try to understand him that way? Nonsense, what a speculative power you have got. Simply you will commit blunder. Why? Krishna says, I am this, I am this, I am that, I am that. This is Bhagavad Gita explains. God says. Why don't you understand him as he said? If I say that I am from India, my birthplace is in Calcutta, I have got 5 children, I was formerly a businessman, why do you understand to speculate about it? What is the use of this speculation? If you actually want to know what Swamiji is, Swamiji said that I was a householder and I was doing medical business, I have got 5 children, and this and that. So that is sufficient. Why do you want to know Swamiji by speculation? Similarly, these rascals will try to understand Krishna by speculation. No, there is no need. Paramahansa. That is Paramahansa. So, Siddhartha Swami says, Hansa Jatayu. Jatayu means great sages, sanctified. Hansa Jatayu. Jatra na niramanti korichitapi nitrang na ramante. It's like our student, Krishna conscious person, if he is invited, come on, there is a nice picture in the cinema. No, he will never go. He will never go. Because he has become Sansa. He is not a crow that he will go such places. Why? What is that? So, Hansa, here he says, Tadvayasa sadgana, tadvayasa pitham usanti manasa. They reject. Reject. Usanti manasa, najatra hansa niramanti siksa. There was an incident in my life. I was, of course, at that time householder. So, one my friend, he was going to cinema with his friend. And he saw me, I was in the street, and immediately stopped his car and he asked me that you come, we are going to cinema. So I refused. Well, he could give me $1,000, still I cannot go to cinema. So he dragged me, he took me to the cinema house, but I never entered. I came back. Because it was detestable. So when one becomes completely separated from all these material desires, even if you offer him some profit, he will not accept. Najatra niramanti usiksaya, because his mind is absorbed in greater things. Usiksa. Brahma. Usiksa means Brahma. Usik kamanya Brahma chayo nivasa dhishanti. Jata prasiddhya hansa manasi sarasi charanta. Siddhartha Swami explained, just like swans, they take pleasure in the Manas Sarovar, in a place where transparent water, lily and very nice garden, they take pleasure. यथा प्रसिद्धि हंसा मानसी सरसी चरंत कमनीय पद्मसंड निवास. You will find swans, they will gather near the lotus flower and dive there and entangle them with the chain. That is their pleasure, to remain surrounding the lotus flower. Kamanya Padmasanda Nivasa Bhakta Vichitrana Tapta Vichitrana Yuktopi Uttishtadatve Kakapya Sthane Nandamanti. They are not like the crows who are simply trying to take some pleasure from the garbage place. That's all. What is there in the garbage? They are all rejected, thrown away. But the crows will go there, they pull on something, there is something. So as there is a natural distinction between the crows and the swans, similarly there is distinction between a Krishna conscious person and an ordinary person. The ordinary persons are compared like the crows, and a fully Krishna conscious person is just like swans and ducks. Then he says, Tadvaga visaggat janatagha viplava jasmin pratisluka abadhavattati namani nantastu jasankitani jat sinnanti gayanti giranti sara. On the contrary, this is a kind of literature, very nicely written, metaphorical and poetic, everything, but there is no question of glorifying the Lord. That is compared with just like the same place where the crows will take place. On the other hand, other kind of literature, what is that? Tadvaga visarga janataga vipla jasmin pratishlokam avadhava. A literature presented to the people, to the public, for reading, which are even grammatically incorrect. But because there is glorification of the Lord, it can produce revolution. It can purify the whole human society. My Guru Maharaj, well, he was selecting articles to be published in the Harmony. If we see simply that there is several times the writer has written Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, like that, he passes in the Lord. It's all right. There are so many times he has uttered Krishna and Chaitanya, so it is all right. So similarly, even if we present our Vasudeva and any other literature in broken language, it does not matter. Because the glorification of the Lord is there. And that is recommended by Narad. Tadbhagam visarga janata adavit. Janata agha. Agha means sinful activity. If one reads one line of this literature, although it is presented in broken language, but if he simply hears there is Krishna, then his sinful activities immediately vanquish. Janataga vipla. Tadvaga visarga janataga vipla. Jasmin pratishlokam abadhavat. Namani anantas. Ananta means unlimited. His name, his fame, his glory, his quality are described. Namani anantas jasankitani. The glorification is there. Even they are presented in broken language, then Sinnanti Gayanti Ginanti Sadhava, just like my Guru Maharaj, Sadhu, a saintly person, immediately passes, yes, it is all right. It is all right. Because there is glorification of the Lord. Of course, general public will not understand, but this is the standard version spoken by Narada. You write some things. The aim should be simply to glorify the Supreme, being a literary, pavitra, purify. And however nicely, either literary or metaphorically or poetically you write some literature which has nothing to do with God or Krishna, that is Vasatirtha, that is pleasure spot for the crows. This is the version of Narad Muni. We should be taking note of this. For the Vaishnava, there is one qualification, poetic. Everyone should be poetic. But that poetry, that poetic language should be simply to glorify the Lord. So if we try to understand everything in relationship with Krishna, then we understand Vasudeva reality. That is reality. If we study something minus Krishna, that is not real knowledge. Actually, Krishna is the original cause of all. Sarva karana karanam. So unless we come to the point of Krishna, any understanding, any knowledge is impossible.